I got it finally figured out. Well, looks like I'm going to be able to get these videos flipped around like the way they're supposed to be, and not like the mirror imaged, like the like as the default on this photo booth system that iMac has. Anyway, I wanted to talk about um, some things that I've been thinking, and I may be crazy. I mean, I totally hold that out as a total possibility. So I may be crazy, and I hope I'm not. But this, oh God, it's like I just see sort of this is the way that I think that the future is gonna be sort of laid out in the next. At the very latest, it's going to be basically rolled out within the next 5 years. Very latest. If it's not rolled out within the next 5 years, I'm gonna basically withdraw all of my ideas about the Illuminati and the the New World Order and stuff like that. But here's kind of the idea of where I see things going. I think that there's going to be some kind of false flag event that's going to occur, and that false flag event is probably going to be blamed on Iran. It might be blamed on North Korea, since apparently 2 years ago they found that there's like $9 trillion worth of minerals that they've just discovered in North Korea, in the mountains of North Korea. So that would be a perfect opportunity to sort of accumulate material wealth. So, okay, so there's going to be a false flag attack. It's going to be blamed on Iran and North Korea. We're going to go to the UN and say that we need to authorize a strike or an invasion of North Korea or Iran. And if it's Iran, uh, probably even North Korea, the Russians and the Chinese are not going to let us do it, because they'll say they have no proof that justify, or no evidence that justifies the invasion. And so anyway, I'm drinking this Blue Moon Summer Honey Wheat Ale. It's actually really good. Recommend anybody give it a try. But so they're going to invade, or they're going to go to the UN, and the Chinese and the Russians are going to say no because you haven't presented us any evidence. And in response to that, the U.S. will use NATO or Israel as the ones who strike first, and they can claim that it wasn't us, but it's obviously us. It's obviously the United States. It's obviously the UK and the other Asian countries. Just because you have a NATO doesn't mean that you're not doing things by yourself. So yeah, there's going to be an attack against Iran or North Korea, and it would probably be a really substantial attack. And the Russians and Chinese, because they said that they wouldn't allow this attack, which they're well within their right to, according to the UN Security Council mandates, the Russians and the Chinese are going to basically back up Iran, and they're going to, or North Korea, and they're going to continue to fight us in a clandestine way, just like we're fighting Iran in a clandestine way. Eventually, though, there's going to be something that's released that's going to show that both countries are basically supporting opposite sides, or all the countries are supporting these sides of this war, and it's going to sort of break out into a third world war. And this third world war is going to gradually develop into a nuclear war, and we are going to all it's going to be basically bombs dropping everywhere. The people who won't be affected by this are those who are in power. Because I actually really believe that Russians and the Americans and the Chinese, the higher levels of government, are all sort of in collusion. They know what's going to be happening. They know what's going on. So they're going to basically created a nuclear third world war that's going to destroy most of humanity. And at that point, once the nuclear bombs drop, or even once the war starts, I think there's going to be some kind of martial law declared. And the martial law is going to be able to round up political dissidents like myself. And I'll probably be put in what's called, I guess, in the United States, a FEMA camp. Because under, if the president would declare a national emergency, that activates FEMA, and FEMA would now be able to have basically control or direction over everybody in the country. FEMA is actually probably the most powerful organization in the government. And nobody even realizes it, but I mean, it's all there to preserve the state, and they don't want this message getting out. So that's why political dissidents like anarchists such as myself must be dealt with, and they'll deal with us. So, but anyway, okay. So they have the night, or I would say probably around I would say 75% to give it a conservative thing. 75% of the Earth is going to be basically killed during this nuclear strike, or during this sort of it's like one person launches a bomb and then it's sort of a series of retaliations until everything sort of collapsed and crumbled and all governments are destroyed. And this is all part of the plan. It's not like they're trying to prevent a nuclear war. They actually want the nuclear war because that way they can get rid of most of us, and so that way they have a manageable populace. Then once this nuclear strike happens and everybody's freaking gone, or nearly everybody, they then declare a truce, right? Because nobody wants. They say we don't want any more nuclear weapons. We don't want any more destruction of people, and this is like our way of being the grand humanitarians, and they're going to all sort of unite together under a one world government. And this one world government is going to own every single person on Earth, and they're going to have total surveillance. They're going to have total control of the weapon supply. Protesting would be useless, and life as we know it would be done, because we are now going to be in basically a perpetual state of slavery. And they're going, and the way I see it is it's probably going to be like a mixture of 1984 and Brave New World, where they have this massive surveillance state, and they'll arrest political dissidents and they'll put them on trial without notification. Basically, people just disappear as soon as they start questioning the system. But on the other hand, to keep people from being unhappy and upset and sort of researching, they'd probably have a bunch of chemicals or pills that they'd recommend people take as soon as they start getting unhappy. It'll also involve censorship of the internet, so that way nobody will have access to these anarchist ideas. You gotta have censorship of the internet. And that's what they're trying to do now with CISPA, and they tried it with SOPA and PIPA, and over in Europe they're doing ACTA. It's just a disaster. It's a disaster waiting to happen, and we're gonna be gone. If we don't recognize what it is and stand up for it, we're gonna be in a world of pain. And I hope. It's like I hope I'm wrong. Like I said about when I predicted the attacks on the Olympics. I didn't predict it. I actually was reading stuff, and I sort of saw all of the clues and the symbols, and I came to the conclusion that's probably what they were going to do. I think that the attack on the 2012 Olympics probably didn't happen because there was a lot of chatter on the internet about this. So if they would have tried it, there would have been, thousands of people that would have said, yeah, we told you this is going to happen, and the government's lying to you. So the governments probably did cancel it for that reason. But this is sort of the way I see the world. And this is how I see everything kind of coming together. And the ultimate, I guess, sadness that comes into my life is the knowledge that, you know, there are things that the government does that are actually pretty good, like things like Social Security and Medicare and welfare, stuff like that. That actually they do social good, but I think that the statist system they have is really insidious, because what you create is dependence on the system. And that way, when somebody tries to say, hey, you know, maybe we should get rid of, you know, Medicare because it's just creating dependence on the system, then you have all the dependents that are saying, like, you're trying to take away my money from the government. You know, and people that are part of Medicare or Social Security, they don't realize that this money that they're getting right now is actually coming from other people. And maybe people don't want to pay for this kind of stuff. You know, but they are forced to pay, because if they don't, they'll get arrested, or they'll get shot, or fined. You know, it's like the coercion that exists in the government is nefarious, and it's insidious, and it's absolutely real. That's why you put, like, you know, union work. You know, that's why you unionize government jobs and put them on the payroll and of the government. So as soon as you try and say, well, let's consider, like, privatizing government jobs, let's bring everything back to the people. As soon as you start saying that, then you get attacked from these people that make money off that. It's like, you're trying to fire me. It's like, yeah, I'm trying to fire you, but it's not because I'm a dick. You know, it's because I believe that you shouldn't be making money from an organization that makes its money off of theft. You know, it's like, you know, it'd be the same thing as if RICO, you know, if these RICO laws, you know, people protesting against these RICO laws because it's like, hey, man, I work for the mafia, you're trying to fire me. It's like, yeah, we're trying to fire you because you guys get money that's based off of theft. And the difference between the mafia and the government is that people still believe that the government is justified and legitimized and good for society. And so as long as people believe that, then they'll continue to fight against cuts. And, you know, I'm a communist. I believe that everybody should be taken care of, period. But they shouldn't be taken care of through coercion, aggression, or any form of threat, period. Period. And people that get their money through ill-gotten gains didn't get it in a justifiable way. So that's all I have to say. I'm done for today, but I want to let you guys know that I'm rooting for you. You know, I want you, if anybody sees this, I want you to wake up and realize, like, what government is. And if you're liberal leaning, you must understand that you can create a liberal society without government. You can. You can create a socialist society without government, or a communist society without government. The government really is really a bad answer to an important question, and people accept it, but they shouldn't. Well, I'm going to sign off here, but thanks for watching this video. I'm looking forward to talking to you again in the future. Again, new iMac. You know, who can fight against that, right? It's actually pretty cool. I really love my iMac a lot better than I've loved any PC before. So easy, intuitive. Everything's basically built in. Everything's integrated, streamlined. You can click and drag and drop shit on top of other shit, you know, and it makes it, it's way, way more innovative, and it requires a lot less work than a PC does. But that's my shameless plug to this sadist capitalist corporation called Apple. And you're welcome, Apple. But I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.